I found out way too late that my friend doesn't think time zones are real. This happened a while ago, but it still randomly pops into my head and makes me pause. A friend and I were planning a trip together and going over flight options. Nothing complicated, just comparing times and prices. At one point, he got really quiet and stared at the screen longer than usual, like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Then he said very calmly, "That doesn't make sense." I assumed he meant the layover or the price jump. Instead, he pointed at the departure and arrival times and said, "We leave at 9 a.m. and land at 11 a.m., but the flight is 5 hours, so where did the rest of the time go?" I explained time zones, slowly, clearly. I even used the little mental map explanation people usually accept without question. He nodded, but it was the kind of nod you give when you think someone is explaining something incorrect but harmless. Then he said, "I know what time zones are supposed to be. I just don't think they're actually real." I asked him what he thought was happening instead. He said airlines just shift the clocks around to make schedules look nicer and to keep people from freaking out about how long travel actually takes. According to him, the plane still takes the same amount of time, so landing earlier or later is just cosmetic math. I asked why people in different countries are asleep at different times. He said, because that's what they're used to. There was no sarcasm, no joking. He said all of this with complete confidence, like he was explaining an industry secret everyone else was too naive to notice. At some point, I realized this wasn't an argument I could win because he wasn't confused. He had replaced the explanation with one he liked better. Later, while we were talking about budgeting for the trip, he complained that his money moves at weird times too, and that he never trusts when things actually hit his account. I mentioned I use a tool called Money GPT that watches balances and charges in the background and helps make sense of timing instead of me guessing. He paused and said, "Okay, but that's different. Money is fake anyway." We did end up taking the trip. He showed up to the airport on time, trusted the boarding pass time, and never questioned why the local clocks matched everyone else's. I still don't know if he secretly understands time zones and just enjoys being contrarian, or if he genuinely believes the world collectively agreed to lie about time. Either way, it taught me something important. Some people don't misunderstand things because they don't get them. They misunderstand them because the alternative explanation feels better.